I figured today on this slow holiday, 4th of July week, I would answer the number one question I get from Gen Xers that are still in corporate, and that is, do I need to quit my corporate job in order to go all in? And my answer has kind of changed over time. When I first started, corporate, I didn't burn the boats, right? Corporate kicked me out of the boat, and I made a vow that I was not going back to corporate come hell or high water. And since then, mostly with this TikTok account, I burned those corporate boats. They're not going to take me back anyway. So my initial thought is, unless you leave corporate, you're never going to be able to create that sense of urgency in order to build the business that's going to support you, or at least support what your goals are. Now, over time, I've seen a number of folks that have started this successfully while they were still in corporate. They were able to prioritize and build and get some momentum before either they quit, they gave their notice and went all in, or corporate again quit on them, gave them a package and said, hey, here, go start this. So like I said, there's folks on both sides of this debate that say you have to quit, go all in. And I think if you can start building this while you're still in corporate, find that first customer, do that first workshop, find your first advisory client on the weekends or in the evenings, find that first coaching client. Any way you can make some money to get confident in this, start building the networks again, because what your current network is going to start and definitely drive your growth, but they're going to be different conversations. So I'm not going to definitively say, yes, you need to quit your job in order to do this, because others have done it successfully without. I do think you need to attack this with a sense of urgency. You can't, if you get a package, you can say, all right, I'm going to take a month off and then start to think about what I want to do. And then 2 months later, you're still working on it, but not putting a ton of time behind it. I would just highly encourage you to spend as much time as you possibly can. Learn as much as you can, and then again, even if you never quit corporate, at least you're prepared for when that time changes or when they come calling for you. So anyway, like I said, you're going to get folks on both sides of this debate, and I'm sure I will in the comments, whether you quit or build. And at some point, I do think you need to go all in, right? So even if you're in corporate, you've got some traction, you've got a couple small clients, at some point you're not going to be able to balance the two unless you've got a really cush corporate job that gives you the flexibility to do it. So at some point you go all in, but you can do that after you've gained some confidence, gained some momentum. Or, like I said, if you get shoved out of corporate, go all in. Just attack it though. Don't half-ass it, because that's not going to get you where you need to go. So as usual, follow along if you'd like to learn more. Connect with me on LinkedIn. You can find all my contact info in my bio. And if you're still in corporate, good luck.